guys, this week I got a couple stuff for you. I did a brew day on Monday. I had the day off for work and I brewed a black IPA. And what I did is I took somewhat the malt schedule of the black IPA I did before, little tweaks here and there, and then I did the hop schedule of Ace of Spades black IPA by Northern Brewer. The only thing I changed was they have Chinook, and I did Columbus because my homebrew store didn't have Chinook. And so that brew day went really well. I hit my numbers, estimated. I'll get the specs here. The estimated pre-boil gravity was 1048. I hit that dead on. And estimated original gravity 1061. I hit that right on too. And what I did differently this time, as you'll see in the video, is I did a 3-tier kind of system right in my kitchen. But and I slowly, very slowly, did a batch, or did a fly sparge. I bought this metal cooking tray, put it in the cooler, and then drilled some holes in it and slowly did that. And I think the sparge took me about maybe an hour, a little over. All together, maybe an hour and a half with the first runnings. So I think that helped me a little bit. I think too, part of my efficiency problem is that cooler I'm using. Eventually I'm going to get one of the 10-gallon round coolers. Tell me, guys, if you think that'll help my efficiency. I've read things both ways, but we'll see. The only thing with that cooler is it doesn't have like the indent going down. So, and my manifold, I guess you'd call it, only goes so far, and there's about 3 inches dead space. And you know, where the spigot is coming out is about 2 inches higher than the bottom. So I'm assuming that's where some of my issues are going. But turned out, you know, as long as I you know, sparge really slow, I'm going to hit my numbers. I have the IPA that I did out in the cities now crash cooling. I just put it in there yesterday. I have that at 30. It's sitting at 33, and that's the temperature I want it at. I'll crash cool that until tomorrow, and then I will add some gelatin, and then I'll probably keg that Friday night. So that'll be on tap, and I'll tell you guys how that's tasting next week in my Homebrew Wednesday video. In this video, I'll show you that brew day that I did Monday. Had a friend over. It kind of helped, I guess. He was hungover from his birthday the night before, so he wasn't too much of a help. I'll show you that, and then I'll show you a review of Josh Sakar's beer. And again, in this review, I said it was really bitter. And as I drank it, that bitterness I just got used to it. And I really don't know if I'm sensitive to bitterness or what. But that one, as well as the cream ale that I had tasted before, they seem just a little too bitter. Not bad at all. Just a little too bitter. But we'll see what Josh says in the comments. Maybe he'll stick up for himself a little bit. And then I'll review Bell's Mercury, and then I'll come back to wrap it all up.
When I was only 17, couldn't wait for 21. I'd hang around on Clayton Street in the bars there getting drunk. A baseball cap and a fake ID would get me in the clubs. Then I would dance with the college girls and lie about who I was. I'd say I'm pre-med here at UGA, live on Millage Avenue. I was raised over in Buckhead, I'd drive a BMW. I was breaking hearts and taking names and numbers just for fun, stealing kisses, wishing I was 21. Thursdays came and pocket change would quickly disappear. Upstairs at Lowry's Tavern, we'd pay a nickel for the beer. Shooting pool, smoking cigarettes with a dizzy head and a grin. 4 a.m. on a school night, still hanging out with my friends. 1 hour sleep on a dirty couch, no shower, off to school. Smelling just like a brewery with a bad hangover too. The teachers all would hassle me, stay awake, pay attention. I was catching hell, wishing I was 21. The youngest one.
Here's the black IPA brewed over the weekend, well, actually on Monday. As you can see, it's a little over 24 hours after. Nice krausen on there. Do have the blow-off tube. Now I got it right by the heater because it's pretty cold down here, but it's bubbling pretty fast. Pretty healthy looking. Very excited. All right, guys. So this is the last review of one of Josh Sakar's beers. It's a dark rye saison. It is 6% alcohol, and I don't really remember what he said about it, but I don't think he was too happy with it. But we'll see. And to be honest, I haven't had that many saisons, so I don't really, I'm not going to be able to critique it style-wise very well. But we'll see. Not much smell coming out of the bottle. It's not forming much of a head, and again, probably because I waited too long and it's bottled right out of the keg. So there's definitely carbonation there. As you can see, it's a reddish tint. It's it's not too dark. A little murky, but clarity's pretty good. Let's go in for a smell. It smells really malty, kind of like almost like an ESB type aroma. Very malty, but I do get some, and correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, but I think saison kind of has that funky smell from the yeast, which comes across to me almost like clove, if that makes any sense. But it looks nice, and don't judge him on that. I think that's because I waited too long, but I think it would have a nice head if it was right out of his keg. So let's go in for a taste. I don't know what you think, Josh, but I think again this has maybe just a touch too much bitterness. But I don't know the style. The bitterness is kind of lasting on the tongue. And I really don't know how to explain the flavor. It's got that clovey. To me, it almost is like a Belgian yeast. And maybe I'm a total idiot, and saison yeast is Belgian. I mean, tell me if I'm an idiot below, but that's what it reminds me of. Is kind of like clovey. And I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to taste like. He's a good brewer. Overall, it's very clean in the way that I don't taste any off flavors. Bitterness is maybe a little high, but again, it's not offensive at all. And again, maybe that's the style. Maybe that's the balance out, because it's malty too. Very good. So thanks again, Josh, for letting me try these beers. It was awesome of him. He drove probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half to meet me, and I only had to drive 5 minutes. So big props to you, man. I appreciate it. Look forward to doing more beers with you. And we're hoping to do a Wisconsin Brew Day, Wisconsin Brewtober's Brew Day, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of beers to share. Thanks, man. Cheers. All right, guys, second beer review of the night. And I told you from the beginning that I would review all these, except for Mars. I don't think I reviewed that one. But here is Bell's Mercury. This is a Belgian-style ale. ABV is 4.8%. And the back said this is one of 7-part series inspired by Gustav Holst's The Planet. Strap in and embark. The flavor tour of our solar system. In the order of Holst's piece. So, the same thing I read before, I guess. So, let me crack this open and we'll see how it tastes. And by the way, uh-oh, hope this isn't as bad as Venus was. But these, where I'm buying them, are $2.50 a bottle. So they are pricey, but as many hype beers are, right? And I think because it's a Belgian beer, we'll just throw it all in, right? So, obviously, it was clear until I poured the yeast in. So it's a hazy, kind of a hazy straw yellow, kind of like, you know, a light lager or something. Let me get a smell. I get the Belgian yeast, like I was saying before, kind of the clovey smell. But I get citrus. I always just say citrus. Particularly, kind of like lemon and orange is kind of what I'm getting off of it. And appearance, the head sticking around, about a half finger head or so. So let's get a taste. Not pleased with this one either, guys. You know, I don't know what they did with this. I know the Venus was experimental in a way. I mean, I can understand, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up online and see what where they're going at with this one. Because I don't get a lot of the yeast character. I get some. In this one, there's an overriding bitterness, and I guess that's a theme with me, but more so than Josh's beer. And maybe I'm just sensitive to bitterness. Maybe I'm not using enough bittering hops in my beers, but this is bitter, like astringent. Like not a hop bitter, but it seems astringent. It's drinkable, way better than the Venus. I don't even think I finished that Venus I reviewed a couple months back. I just couldn't swallow it. But I mean, I'll finish this one. I guess I should start giving letter ratings to beers. This one I would give a C+. Maybe I'm being too critical, but I've had way better beers from Bell's, and this isn't cutting it for me. Cheers, guys. Okay, that's it for this week. Trying to think of what plans I have going forward. I don't think I'm going to brew for a while. Let me grab my sheet here. I have Lee's IPA ready to go in the keg here in a couple days. I have the I Have a Dream Porter, which I've sampled 3 bottles of that, and it's tasting good. So I have 48 bottles of that. I have the Gash Slug Cream Ale that's in the keg, and I'd still say there is 3/4 of that left. And I have Daddy's Cream Ale, which there's probably about 26 to 30 bottles left of that. And I still have some of that black IPA. It's almost gone, but there's some more of that. So I have some beer to drink, and if I keep making beer, I'm going to feel overwhelmed. Can you feel overwhelmed with a lot of beer in the house? So yeah, I don't have much plans for brewing really, so I guess my videos coming up might be a little shorter. I'll tell you how the beers that I did brew are coming along. Maybe I'll take a week off here or there. Maybe show you some of the local brew pubs around town. Something like that. I'll try to get creative. So you guys have a good week. Cheers. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, and go Pack Go.